If you have ever been judged for your appearance, this story will stay with you until the very end. Back then, he had everything. Good looks, perfect grades, money that no one even knew about. But the one thing he didn't have was the courage to look beyond appearances. Liam Hart wasn't an ordinary college student. Officially, he was just another business major at Eastbridge University. Unofficially, he was the only grandson of Richard Hart, the billionaire founder of Hart Global Holdings. Only a handful of people knew his true identity. His grandfather believed Liam needed to experience a normal life before inheriting the company. So Liam dressed simply. He drove an old sedan. He never revealed his family name. Yet despite hiding his wealth, he naturally attracted attention. Tall, confident, smart, captain of the debate team. Every semester, girls found excuses to talk to him, but Liam never dated anyone. He believed relationships were distractions. Then there was Sarah Collins. She wasn't popular, she wasn't fashionable, she was a little chubby. Her clothes were simple. She always tied her hair into a messy ponytail. While others spent money on expensive makeup, Sarah spent hers buying medicine for her sick mother. She worked evenings at a small cafe, every night after work. Off all the hardships and struggles which life had thrown at her, there was only one dream, which was hers. She practiced acting alone inside her tiny apartment, standing before an old mirror. She memorized movie dialogues. She laughed. She cried. She imagined cameras surrounding her. Her dream wasn't hidden. Everyone knew. Sarah wanted to become an actress. Most students laughed at her. An actress? Seriously? Look at yourself first. You'll play someone's aunt before becoming a heroine. Every joke pierced her heart, but she smiled anyway, because dreams cost nothing. Liam often noticed Sarah sitting alone in the library. She was always reading scripts instead of textbooks. One rainy afternoon, the library suddenly lost power. Students rushed outside. Sarah accidentally dropped dozens of papers. The wind scattered them everywhere. Without saying anything, Liam helped her collect every page. "Thank you," she said shyly. He simply nodded. It lasted less than 2 minutes. But for Sarah, it became unforgettable. Little by little, she began looking for reasons to see him. She borrowed books from the same shelf. She joined clubs he attended. She even started drinking coffee, even though she hated the taste, just because Liam visited the campus cafe every Wednesday. Her best friend finally laughed. "You like him?" Sarah blushed. "Oh, I do." "Then tell him." "What if he rejects me?" "At least you'll stop wondering." Sarah spent weeks gathering courage. The annual university festival finally arrived. Music echoed across campus. Colorful lights decorated every building. Sarah stood beneath an old cherry blossom tree. Her hands trembled. She held a tiny handmade keychain she had knitted herself. When Liam arrived, she took a deep breath. "Liam, I like you. I've liked you for almost 2 years. I know I'm not beautiful. I know I don't look like the girls around you. But I wanted to tell you before graduation." She extended the little keychain. For several seconds, silence. Then Liam looked at her. Not with anger, not with kindness, but with awkward discomfort. "I'm sorry, Sarah. I don't feel the same." That alone would have hurt. But then several nearby students noticed. Whispers spread. Someone laughed. One student joked loudly, "Come on, Liam. You can do way better." Another added, "She should lose 50 pounds before confessing." The crowd laughed. Sarah lowered her eyes. Liam should have stopped them. Instead, he sighed, then quietly said, "I think we're just too different." His eyes unintentionally glanced at her body. It lasted only 1 second, but Sarah understood. She forced a smile. "I understand." She turned around, walked away, and cried the entire way home. Graduation arrived. Everyone pursued different paths. Liam left overseas to complete his MBA. After returning, he officially joined Heart Global Holdings. Within 3 years, he became one of the youngest CEOs in the industry. Successful, respected, feared. Business magazines called him the golden heir. Yet strangely, he never found someone he truly loved. Every relationship felt empty. Every compliment sounded fake. Sometimes, he remembered the girl beneath the cherry blossom tree. Then life moved on. Or so he thought. Meanwhile, Sarah's journey became a nightmare. She attended hundreds of auditions. Rejected again. Some directors laughed openly. "You're talented, but audiences only want pretty faces." Others suggested impossible diets. One producer shamelessly offered her a leading role in exchange for spending one night with him. Sarah walked away immediately. She'd rather fail honestly than succeed by selling herself. She started exercising, changed her diet, month after month. She became healthier, stronger, more confident. She lost weight naturally, but something else changed too. She discovered her own style, elegant, graceful, radiant. One independent film director finally noticed her, not because of her appearance, because of one emotional audition. When Sarah cried during the scene, everyone inside the room forgot they were watching an audition. Even the cameraman wiped away tears. She got the role. The movie had a tiny budget, no famous actors, no expensive marketing. Yet after its release, the internet exploded. Everyone wanted to know, who was the new actress making audiences cry? Sarah Collins. Overnight, she became the country's newest sensation. Award after award followed. Luxury brands signed her. Magazine covers featured her every month. Her smile illuminated billboards across every major city. Millions admired her beauty. Few knew how much pain had shaped it. One evening, Liam attended an investment conference. The giant screen suddenly displayed the newest ambassador for a luxury jewelry brand. The hall became silent. Then applause erupted. Liam froze. He narrowed his eyes. It took him several minutes to realize that the woman smiling confidently on the screen was Sarah. Elegant black gown, confident eyes, natural beauty. Nothing about her seemed familiar, except her confidence, those confident yet gentle eyes that once looked at him beneath the cherry blossom tree. His heartbeat quickened. He searched her name that night. Interview after interview, movie after movie, award speeches. The more he watched, the more guilty he felt. He remembered every word spoken that day, especially the laughter, especially his silence. He remembered her throughout the years, maybe because nobody approached him that much confidently, the way she did, without caring about her appearance at that time. Months later, Heart Global announced a luxury entertainment investment. Their biggest target? A movie starring Sarah Collins. Their first official meeting happened inside a conference room. Sarah entered gracefully. Every executive stood. Even Liam unconsciously rose from his chair. She smiled politely. "Mr. Hart." No anger, no resentment, just professionalism. Liam couldn't stop staring. She had changed, not only outside. Her confidence filled the room. She no longer sought anyone's approval. The meeting ended successfully. As everyone prepared to leave, Liam quietly said, "Sarah, can we talk?" She paused. 5 minutes. They stood alone near the balcony. City lights glittered below. Liam swallowed hard. "I've wanted to apologize for years." Sarah remained silent. "I should have defended you. I shouldn't have cared what others thought. I hurt you. I was immature. I've regretted it ever since. Sarah looked toward the skyline, then softly asked, "Do you know what hurt the most?" Liam shook his head. "It wasn't your rejection. You had every right to say no. It was the way you looked at me. As if I wasn't good enough. As if my appearance decided my worth." Her voice remained calm, but every word carried years of pain. Liam lowered his head. "I'm sorry." She nodded gently. "Are you?" Then she walked away, leaving Liam alone beneath the city lights. He couldn't forget her. Instead of forcing conversations, he quietly supported her career. Heart Global invested in films that valued meaningful storytelling. He rejected contracts exploiting actresses. He introduced stricter workplace protections. Employees noticed something had changed. The cold CEO had become unexpectedly compassionate, not because of business, because regret had finally taught him empathy. Months later, Sarah visited a children's hospital before filming. She often volunteered without informing the media. Coincidentally, Liam was there donating medical equipment through his company. Neither expected to meet. Sarah smiled politely. The children begged her to tell a story. She happily agreed. Watching her laugh with sick children, Liam realized something. She hadn't become beautiful because she lost weight. She'd always been beautiful. He'd simply been too blind to see it. After the event ended, Liam finally gathered courage. "I know I don't deserve this, but I'd like to know you again. Not as the girl from college, but as the incredible woman you've become." Sarah looked at him quietly. "You know, for years, I imagined this moment. I imagined you regretting everything. I thought it'd make me happy." She smiled sadly. "But standing here, I don't feel revenge. I don't feel satisfaction. I just feel free." Liam's heart sank. "Does that mean—" She interrupted gently. "Liam, you fell in love with the woman everyone admires, but the girl who truly loved you needed someone to believe in her when nobody else did." Silence filled the air. "I can't go back and become that girl again. And you can't go back and become that boy." A tear escaped Liam's eyes. "So, this is goodbye?" Sarah smiled warmly. "No, it's forgiveness. But forgiveness isn't always another chance." She walked away. Liam stood there long after she had disappeared from sight. For the first time in his life, he understood something. Love couldn't be bought. It couldn't be won with flowers, luxury cars, or expensive gifts. It could only be earned, and he hadn't earned it. That night, Liam returned to his office but couldn't focus on a single document. Instead, he opened an old storage box he had kept since college. Inside were faded notebooks, a student ID, and something he hadn't looked at in years, a small crocheted keychain. He froze. Back on the day Sarah confessed. She had quietly slipped it into his backpack before leaving. He had never noticed. He held the tiny handmade keychain in his hand. The stitching wasn't perfect. One side was slightly uneven, but every thread had clearly been made with care. His eyes became wet. She had poured her heart into something so simple, and he had never even seen it. "I don't deserve her," he whispered, "but I can become someone worthy of loving." From that day onward, Liam stopped chasing Sarah. He stopped looking for excuses to meet her. He stopped trying to explain himself. Instead, he changed himself. Heart Global introduced scholarships for students from low-income families. The first scholarship carried no publicity, no interviews, no photographs, only one name, the Dream Forward Scholarship. It funded students who wanted careers in acting, music, painting, writing, and filmmaking. Dreams society often laughed at, just like people once laughed at Sarah. Whenever reporters asked Liam why he invested millions into unknown artists, he always smiled. Because talent deserves opportunity before judgment. No one knew the real reason. Meanwhile, Sarah's career reached heights she had once believed impossible. International films, streaming platform originals, award ceremonies across the world. Yet success came with loneliness. People praised her beauty, her fame, her elegance, but very few saw Sarah, the girl who still loved rainy evenings, cheap coffee, and practicing scripts in front of a mirror. One evening, after finishing a film shoot, she quietly visited Eastbridge University. The old cherry blossom tree still stood there. She smiled to herself. "So much has changed," she whispered. Just then, she noticed something new beside the Performing Arts Building, a beautiful theater. Its entrance displayed a bronze plaque, the Sarah Collins Performing Arts Center. Her eyes widened. "I never agreed to this," she murmured. The dean, who happened to recognize her, smiled warmly. "It wasn't our idea." A private donor paid for the entire building. He only had one condition. Sarah looked at him curiously. What condition? That no one would know his identity until today. The dean handed her an envelope. Inside, a handwritten letter. She immediately recognized the handwriting. Liam. The letter read, "Dear Sarah, if you're reading this, it means the theater is finally complete. You once dreamed of standing on a stage where people would see your talent before your appearance. I couldn't give you that chance back then, so I wanted future dreamers to have it. This building doesn't exist because you're famous. It exists because years ago, one brave college girl refused to give up on her dream despite everyone's laughter. You changed countless lives through your films. Without realizing it, you changed mine too. I don't expect forgiveness beyond what you've already given me. I don't expect another chance. I simply hope that wherever life takes us, you'll know one thing. The boy who once judged you by your appearance no longer exists. Take care. Liam." Sarah slowly folded the letter. For several minutes, she simply stood there. There was no grand declaration, no attempt to pressure her, no hidden request, only gratitude. For the first time, she wondered, maybe Liam truly had changed. Several months passed. Neither of them contacted the other. Life continued. Then fate intervened. A powerful earthquake struck a nearby province. Entire villages were destroyed. Thousands lost their homes. Sarah immediately joined a volunteer relief mission. So did Heart Global. Neither knew the other would be there. For nearly 2 weeks, they worked side by side. Not as a CEO, not as a celebrity, simply as volunteers. Sarah watched him from a distance. There were no cameras, no reporters, no publicity, no audience to impress. This was who he had become. One afternoon, a frightened little girl refused to cross a damaged bridge. Liam knelt beside her. "It's okay. You don't have to be brave all at once. I'll walk with you." He carried her safely across. The child hugged him tightly. Sarah smiled without realizing it. Years ago, the Liam she knew would have walked away. This Liam stayed until everyone was safe. On the final evening, the volunteers gathered around a small campfire. Someone asked Sarah, "What inspired you to never give up?" She looked into the flames.
Then toward Liam, "I used to believe rejection meant I wasn't enough." She smiled softly. "But life taught me something. Sometimes rejection simply becomes the beginning of the person you're meant to become." Liam quietly lowered his eyes. Several weeks later, Sarah invited Liam for coffee. Their first coffee together, not as strangers, not as business partners, just two people. Liam arrived early, nervous. Sarah laughed. "I've never seen the famous Liam Hart nervous. I've negotiated billion-dollar mergers," he admitted, "but this feels much harder." Both laughed. The silence between them no longer felt uncomfortable. It felt peaceful. Over the following year, they slowly rebuilt what had once been broken. No dramatic romance, no rushing. They talked, they disagreed. They apologized, they learned. Liam listened more than he spoke. Sarah noticed that whenever someone was mocked for their appearance, Liam was always the first to defend them. He never did it to impress her. He simply believed it was right. One day Sarah quietly asked, "Why do you always step in?" Liam smiled. "Because once I stayed silent. I'll never make that mistake again." One rainy afternoon, Liam took Sarah back to Eastbridge University. The cherry blossom tree still stood exactly where it always had. Sarah laughed. "I can't believe it's still here." Liam reached into his pocket. He carefully pulled out the tiny crocheted keychain. Sarah gasped, "You still have it?" "I didn't know I had it," he admitted. "But once I found it, I realized someone had loved me with complete sincerity, and I was too immature to recognize it." He held the keychain between them. "I'm not asking you to love the boy who rejected you. I'm asking whether the man standing before you today has finally become someone worthy of your heart." Sarah's eyes filled with tears. She searched his face, not for wealth, not for status, not for charm. She searched for the kindness that hadn't existed years ago, and she found it. She stepped closer. "You know what changed my mind?" Liam whispered. "What?" "You stopped trying to convince me with words, and started proving it through your actions." She gently took the old keychain from his hand, then placed it back into his palm. "This time, you keep it. It's no longer a symbol of rejection. It's proof that people really can change." Before Liam could say another word, Sarah wrapped her arms around him. For a moment, neither of them spoke. The same cherry blossom tree that had witnessed heartbreak years earlier now witnessed healing. Liam smiled through tears. "I promise, I'll spend the rest of my life making sure you never doubt your worth again." Sarah looked into his eyes and replied, "You don't have to prove my worth anymore." She placed her hand over his heart. "You already proved yours." 1 year later, the headlines across the country read, "Beloved actress Sarah Collins marries Hart global heir Liam Hart in an intimate charity wedding." Instead of accepting lavish wedding gifts, the couple requested donations to fund scholarships for young actors and artists from underprivileged families. Together, they established the Believe Before You Judge Foundation, helping aspiring performers who had once been overlooked because of their appearance, background, or financial circumstances. The opening ceremony, Sarah smiled at the crowd and said, "Everyone deserves someone who believes in them before the world does." Liam took her hand and added, "And if you've made mistakes in the past, don't just apologize. Become the kind of person your apology deserves." The audience rose in a standing ovation, because their story was never about a girl losing weight or a man regretting his choice. It was about growth, about redemption, about learning that true beauty is found in character, compassion, and courage. Sometimes, love deserves a second chance, not because time erased the pain, but because two people became better than they once were.